The Viltrumites are known as the strongest and most dangerous race in the Invincible universe. They have incredible strength, speed, and toughness. At first, they were shown as cruel conquerors who destroyed anyone who got in their way. But as the story went on, it became clear that their violence wasn't just who they were. It came from a long history of endless war and harsh leaders who only wanted more power. In today's video, we're going to explore how the Viltrumites changed over time and ended up living on Earth, something no one expected. Behind their scary powers is a deeper story, one that reveals their complicated past and a surprising journey towards something very different than war. After the big Viltrumite war and a brutal fight with Thrag, their powerful leader, the heroes were left beaten and floating through space. Help came from an unexpected place, the Coalition of Planets, now led by Alan the Alien. After Thetis was killed in a brutal battle, Alan the Alien and Invincible had an important talk. During that conversation, Tech Jacket showed up with surprising news. The Viltrumites had suddenly stopped all their activity across the galaxy. They had even abandoned the planets they had taken over. Alan was worried. He thought maybe the Viltrumites were planning to strike back after losing the war, but Invincible had a different idea. He remembered how he, his father Omni-Man, and Thetis had destroyed the Viltrumite homeworld, and he pointed out something strange. Thrag, the Viltrumite leader, had the chance to kill them, but didn't. Invincible believed Thrag might want revenge, not with an army, but by going after Earth, his home planet. The Coalition of Planets didn't want to take any chances. They rushed toward Earth, hoping to stop whatever was coming. On the way, Invincible was haunted by terrifying visions of a full-scale invasion. His friends and family dying, Earth in ruins. But when they got there, everything was normal. Earth was still alive and well. Relieved, Invincible smiled and shared the good news with his dad. That peace didn't last long. Suddenly, Thrag appeared. He admitted the truth. The Viltrumites were on Earth. Invincible tried to attack, but Thrag stopped him, asking to talk instead. Then came a shocking reveal. There were only 37 Viltrumites left after the war. Instead of wanting revenge, Thrag said he was trying to protect what little remained of his people. He suggested a truce. The plan? The Viltrumites would secretly live on Earth, blending in with humans. Some of them were already doing it. Thrag explained that humans and Viltrumites were very similar. He believed they could rebuild their population by having children with humans. It wasn't about war anymore. It was about survival. Invincible was clearly angry when Thrag suggested a truce. At first, he refused. He didn't like the idea of Viltrumites living secretly on Earth, especially after everything they had done. But Thrag explained he wasn't trying to destroy Earth. He wanted to quietly build a new life for his people, since they were almost wiped out. This made Invincible nervous. He didn't trust Thrag's motives and worried about what might happen in the future. But Thrag argued that fighting now would be a disaster. A full-on battle between powerful Viltrumites on Earth could destroy the planet. He said they should hold off on fighting for now for the greater good. Even though Invincible hated the idea, something changed his mind. He had a vision of what could happen if things went wrong, a world completely destroyed. That possibility made him stop and think. In the end, he reluctantly agreed to the truce. It was an uneasy decision, but it marked the end of the Viltrumite war, at least for now. Meanwhile, Alan the Alien, who now led the Coalition of Planets, was still worried. With most of the Viltrumites now gathered on Earth, he saw a chance to stop them for good. He considered using the deadly Scourge virus, a weapon so dangerous it could wipe them all out. Alan didn't release it. Instead, the only person exposed to it was Invincible. He lost his powers for a while, but eventually recovered. While Invincible was healing, Thrag kept a close eye on him to make sure the virus didn't spread. During this time, one of Thrag's scientists discovered something huge. Invincible and his father Omni-Man were the last living descendants of Ardie the Great, the true king of Viltrum. Knowing how important this secret was, Thrag acted fast. He didn't want anyone else to find out, so he killed the scientist and kept the truth to himself. He didn't want anyone to know that Invincible and Omni-Man were the last living members of Viltrum's royal bloodline. At the same time, Thrag's plan to quietly grow the Viltrumite population on Earth hit a big problem. One of his most loyal soldiers, General Craig, disobeyed orders to stay hidden. During a Flaxan invasion of Earth, Craig jumped into action, not because of orders, but because his human lover was in London at the time. and he wanted to protect her. And Craig wasn't the only one struggling. Other Viltrumites were also having trouble following Thrag's rules. Anissa also refused to have children with humans. Lucan, who had been cheated on in the past, didn't want to be with more than one human partner. When Craig and Lucan spoke up about how living among humans had changed them emotionally, Thrag was furious. He didn't want to hear it. Disgusted by their feelings, he ordered all of them to leave. Frustrated, Thrag turned his attention to the moon, where Omni-Man and Debbie were living. Nolan wasn't allowed to return to Earth, and Thrag blamed him for everything going wrong. Wanting to stay in power and protect his title as Grand Regent, Thrag suddenly attacked. As their home started to collapse, Omni-Man's first instinct was to protect Debbie. He acted fast, sending her to a safe place with oxygen just in time. Then Omni-Man faced Thrag directly. He demanded to know why Thrag had broken their peace agreement. But Thrag wasn't interested in talking. Instead, he gave a short history lesson, reminding Omni-Man of the Viltrumite king who died in battle. Thrag said everyone believed the king's heir had died during the Scourge virus outbreak, but now he knew the truth. Invincible and Omni-Man were the last of the royal family. Even after Nolan said he didn't want to rule Viltrum or take Thrag's place, Thrag kept attacking. Just as he was about to land a killing blow, other Viltrumites stepped in. They had heard everything and realized Thrag had been lying to them. He had hidden the truth about Omni-Man's royal blood. The other Viltrumites turned against Thrag and stopped him. Together, the other Viltrumites were able to defeat Thrag. Following Omni-Man's orders, they chose not to kill him. Instead, they locked him up, making sure he stayed alive, even though many of them wanted revenge. Later, Omni-Man wore the royal Viltrumite armor and was officially recognized as their new king. He gave an important speech to the Viltrumites, one that would change everything. He talked about the good things that came from living on Earth, like being around humans and learning about emotions they had always been taught to ignore. He said it was time for a change. Instead of fighting and conquering, Omni-Man wanted Viltrumites to become protectors, people who bring peace, not war. His message hit home. The Viltrumites listened, and for the first time, many of them agreed. This marked a huge change in their way of thinking. The race once known for destruction began a new chapter as guardians of peace, guided by their new leader, Omni-Man.